is we're doing a suburban family home. It's for a single mom and her twin girls, which I think this is the second set of twins I've done. So, shaking things up really. But it's because I wanted to use bunk beds, and then it turned into a really girly room, and then I was like, okay, they have to be twins. Anyways, this house is kind of interesting because it's totally self-indulgent. I had all these plans when the Historically Minded miniseries came out, the fancy house and the Sim that lives in the fancy house with the cats. I set those all to upload like 3 or 4 days before the first one was meant to go out, with the idea of because it all came together at once, putting them all up, having them all scheduled, which I usually try to schedule my uploads a couple days in advance anyways, but I scheduled them all out so that I'd have time to try some new content, some new things with The Sims, all this fun stuff. And then I'm not even joking, we had a family crisis that resulted in a family tragedy the day the first one went up. And so nothing got done. I stepped away from The Sims, I stepped away from my computer, I went to work, and that was kind of it for about 2 weeks, which was awful. Feeling much better now and stuff, coming back to it. But this build was totally self-indulgent in that, the inside does not match the outside. The proportions are weird. I would argue it's probably offensive to anyone who's actually ever lived and or built in mission style. But I had a lot of fun. And that's what I needed, honestly, coming back into The Sims and stuff. I did struggle for a while with the siding and stuff. It is based on my neighbor's house. It's weird using the phrase neighbor because I live on a farm, so they're way heckin' gone. But I drive by their property, going into town, and they have 3 or 4 houses on their property because my family, they're generational farmers, and so it's grandpa's house and dad's house and kid's house, but grandpa's house has been abandoned for a while, and it's kind of this farmhouse mission style where you can clearly see the original vision, and then it's been added on to, modified as the years have gone on, and currently no one lives in it, so it's kind of in disarray, and that's what kind of prompted this idea. So I was I wonder how that house would look in The Sims. And this does not look entirely like that house. It's more inspired by it, but the little cutout thingy on the side, and eventually at the very end, the chimney and stuff, that stuff's kind of inspired by it. And the big courtyard in the front, because that fascinates me, because it has all these really pretty terracotta tiles just sitting out there baking in the sun right now. But I do love that house, and my aunt, who comes to visit me all the time, has fallen in love with this house, and I keep explaining my neighbors have been in the valley just as long as my family has. My maternal aunt comes to visit, but my paternal family, that side of the family, has all been here for generations, for a little bit of clarification there. And I keep explaining to her anyways that this family is not going to sell. This house has been around forever. But she keeps asking. So, I know there are mission style gates like this one, but the terracotta doesn't match the terracotta I wanted to use. Terracotta? No. What is it? Stucco. Goodness gracious. The stucco I wanted to use. So I ended up using a different gate. I ended up using a gate I really liked. Also, it was so funny. I discovered this trick where you can put the different fencing down with the half walls and stuff, and then slot a fence gate in, and it will work. Goodness, my brain broke. And then I swear I've seen it everywhere, and I was like, well, that's not exciting and or new, but it works out great because it means I can have half walls and a fence gate. It has courtyards in the front and the back, and this little trellisy thing, which I spent too long filling with plants for it to look as flat as it does, but whatever, I'm only marginally annoyed by it. I do love the way the trellis turned out. The inside does not match this outside, by the way, at all. The inside is completely contemporary because I thought, the family that was moving in here was probably going to redo it because, that would be what we would do, with the house that my neighbors own, right? Is it would need to be redone. It's sat empty for a really long time. So the outside is very sort of what this style, or well, my sad interpretation of the style, and the inside is very contemporary to fit the family that's moving in here, and the family should be up on the channel soon. I adore them. I cannot wait to play with them and see how they grow. Which I know I say about every family, but honestly, this save file is so exciting. I need to download, is it MC Command Center, or one of those mods where, really exciting and cool things happen in the world without you, marriages and deaths and things, because I'd love to see, I want to play all the families, but I also just kind of want to see this world evolve. There's certain Sims I'm already you two are gonna get married, and they're in different households right now, and I'm that Sim's gonna grow up and do cool things, and I have, 8 bajillion Sims planned in their houses. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever put this much work into one single file before. So it's a lot of fun. I have like a million save files, which is goofy, but I don't think I've ever stuck around and like worked on one this long. Because like this is literally the same save file. I can talk today as like historic builds and the rooms and everything, although obviously the rooms would need houses, but all of that is in the same build. It's been really fun because I'm like random, like when I built the park, a bunch of Sims that I had made showed up, and I know that happens, but like I literally never stick with a save long enough for that kind of cool stuff to really happen. So it's been fun. Anyways, was my point. I guess I'm kind of like rediscovering The Sims in the last like couple of years, which sounds weird, but when you think about it, the game is 7 years old, so yes, there's been periods where like completely didn't mess with it, but I love this game so much. It really scratches two different itches, right? Because you can play The Sims, and then it is a life simulator at its core, which was what they intended, but then it's totally just like baby's first AutoCAD in some ways too, which is my favorite way to play with it. I really struggled with these lights because like I like these copper ones. I hate the glow, and I couldn't get the glow right because in my head I imagined a very warm light, but not orangey, but like kind of lantern lighty. I don't know. At this point, I hadn't decided how many Sims were going to be in the house. I knew I wanted it to be a family home, but I didn't have a layout in my head, and I struggled with this for a while. I can't remember if I think I end up leaving most of it. I do make some tweaks and stuff, but it is 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and the rooms are small-ish. I think they're a decent size. They're not grand. Also, I struggled really hard with the window placement, and I think this is like one of like 4 more times I'll end up changing it. I don't know if they all made it on camera. No idea why I struggled so hard with the window placement. But yeah, then the inside completely doesn't match the outside, which is why it's a little bit of a weird one and totally self-indulgent. But I was just having fun. I was literally like picking weird cabinet colors. I ended up going with a lot of blue. I don't usually like that much of one color in a build, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like deep tone blues. I just wanted to use a weird color in those cabinets. Here's me messing with windows more and more, and it's funny because like I see that blue. I think that might be the blue that's like the default swatch. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I see that blue a lot, and I think I place it in almost every build and then I change it. Like I never end up going with the blue. So, well, now that I've said that, I think there might be a build on the channel with a blue. Ignore me. Look. When I'm not recording, a lot of times I tend to build like much of the same house because it's what I'm comfortable with. Everyone does, right? It's what you're comfortable with. And everything works. Yeah, she was making food and stuff. This is a default sim, a townie, so she'll get her own build eventually because I'll use them for 2 or 3 times and then I'll feel guilty and build them a house. But went with the I think is this the Parenthood Seasons Cats and Dogs? This kitchen came with a pack, and I swear it's all I use now. I've been wanting to do a kitchen where I force myself to use those base game ones that kind of look like plastic with the long handles. That didn't make any sense, but the one with like a bajillion colors, I want to pick a weird color and I want to do a kitchen, I think I'm gonna have to challenge myself to do that because I kind of do build the same kitchen every time. Also, that was me realizing there's bar backs. Is that what they're called? I'm sure that's probably what they're called. I might be being offensive. Anyways, the backing to the bars. And I stopped on that one briefly because I was like, I want to build Cheers now. Those of you who don't know what Cheers is a very old TV show, but the bar in the TV show is called Cheers as well, and it's got this really cool square bar in the middle, and then all of the tables all the way around, and then like a back room as a game room, and I thought it'd be really fun to build Cheers, and then maybe make some townies that like don't have houses but are just like in the world from that show, or like I guess maybe like characters that are an ode to that show, I guess. I thought that'd be really fun. Anyways, that was an interlude, but that's why that stopped on that for so long, is because I was like, I should build Cheers, that'd be really fun. I don't know where I'd build it though. I guess maybe Bremerton Bay, because it's a Boston bar, and we don't really have like a world where we have a city, but we don't really have like a squished like old time. I'm not describing this right, but like Boston, we don't have like a Boston. I've been really itching lately for like tighter build, which is weird because like farming is on its way out with the cottage living or whatever it's called. I was gonna say cottage core living, that's not right. I think it's cottage living. that new pack looks amazing. I'm very, very excited for it. But I've also been itching a lot, because I've been watching a lot of Discover University? Yeah, a lot of Discover University content on YouTube. And so there's been a lot of me lately who's like, I want, like, I don't know what they're called all over, but I've heard them called like row houses or townhouses, like squished together houses. I would love tiny apartments, like tiny, like, Japanese, like teeny tiny, like, what are those? Some of them are like 8 square meters and stuff. I would love the challenge of like building in those, which I know would be super difficult, but I would love, at the very least, lots where like they're almost touching the other lot, so you can build like a bunch of houses all squished together with like maybe walls you can't move in between or something like that. I've been itching for small build stuff. Is the point. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I think that would be really fun. I think it's because like they kind of covered farming and that they're like, look, you're getting cows and you're getting llamas, have fun. Which I was excited about farming. I was kind of trepidatious about it personally, because Sims 3 Pets was fun. I enjoyed it, and as someone who works with real life horses, it was fun to see something that I was doing in my life like realized in that. But I'm also one of those people who's like, this is not how horses work. This is just frustrating because this is not how horses work. And the Sims 3 Pets in general kind of bothered me because I did not enjoy controlling pets. I like the way the Sims 4 Pets work. I know that's kind of unpopular. And it is annoying when trying to take pictures and stuff. But like, I love not controlling the pets because I don't control my pets in real life. The one that is sitting on my lap right now, asleep, well, not quite asleep, he's grousing at me because I'm gesturing wildly at the mic. You know, I don't control him. He definitely rules the roost and stuff, and I have very little say. And so I like that that's mimicked in The Sims 4. So I was curious to see how they would do horses, but I was very worried that it would be like The Sims 3. And then I didn't like, because you controlled them in The Sims 3, I didn't like this sounds dumb, but I didn't like jumping skill and stuff, going up on the horse's own. And they were very cool, and I'm very grateful for them, but my little horse girl heart had dreams of more. And so, as weird as it sounds saying that, I was actually okay with them not having horses in the new pack. I was like, cool, there's nothing for me to eventually be like frustrated or annoyed at. Curtains didn't work in this house. Side note, back to the build for a minute. Curtains didn't work, and I gave up in every room, so just like, maybe make your Sims, if they live in this house, never nudes. or fine. I hate curtains in this game so much. I hate them so much. Like, they actually are one of the few things in this game that will make me mad enough to walk away from the computer. I do not like curtains in this game. I think they're very pretty. We have some beautiful curtains, but God, if they don't ever work on the window, I swear. But anyways, so that was such a rambly rabbit hole of a conversation. Goodness gracious, that was basically 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon put in conversation form. I apologize on that one. Oh my goodness. But now you know my thoughts on the new pack, having not touched it at all. I'm quite excited for it. I'm tempering some of my expectations, but there are things where, like, in my head I'm like, you know, it would be great if cows worked kind of like pets, but on the same hand, there's a part of me that would be annoyed if I had to choose between a cow and a dog, so I'm cool with it. And I was listening to like a synopsis of all of the stuff that's come out on it because I keep missing like live streams and stuff. And they had said that the cows, like, and the llamas, which I'm super excited for llamas because I want llamas in real life so bad. I got dangerously close to rescuing an alpaca herd not too long ago. And I do live on some acreage, so this isn't like me trying to fit it into an apartment or something. But I already have some farm animals and a pack of dogs. And look, I might be banned from bringing home more animals if I keep rescuing things. Anyways, what was I saying though? The cows and the llamas, it sounds like their animations wander quite a ways. And so I'm okay with that, because like if I can line up a couple of sheds and maybe make it look like loafing sheds, or make it look like a long outward-facing line of stalls kind of thing. There's a lot of barns that do that in real life. Or, yeah, probably it would, something like that. Anyways, and then put a big old fence around it and have it look like a cow pasture. Great. Sold. Also, the sprinklers in the pasture just kicked on. I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but that's never happened while recording. So, but it's 102 degrees outside, so I guess they kicked on. I don't know if that's that's wise, but if you can hear those, that's what that is. Anyways, yeah. So it sounds like we can make a cow pasture, which I was excited about because I was like, I'm cool with them as objects. But I always feel bad when they take, like, games take a big object like a cow, a big animal, I'm a mess, and then stick it in a little thing and they're like, look, here's a cow object. I'm like, that's great, but in real life that cow would be sad. Cows don't move around a lot, but they like the option. Having worked with cows a small amount, they like the option to move around. And if you try to not give them the option, they will just take down your fence. It doesn't matter how good a fence it is. They will take it down, and they will either meet you in your driveway, or they will wait for you to eat your birthday dinner. And in the middle of your birthday dinner, you'll get a call from your neighbors. That's how cows work. They're very cute, though. I don't have a ton of hands-on experience with llamas and or alpacas. I showed them briefly at a fair, but entirely as a favor to a friend. Like, I showed up and she was like, here's an alpaca, please sit with it for 48 hours. And I was like, cool. So that is kind of the extent of my knowledge with, like, llamas and alpacas. But they're lovely, and they hum. I hope they mimic that. I doubt it, because almost no one I talk to knows that they hum. But I hope the llamas hum in the cottage living pack. If not, I hope someone mods it very quickly, because when a llama and or alpaca, they are different. I'm lumping them because a lot of people use that interchangeably. They're not. They're different. Their ears are different. The way they grow is different. Their wool is different. But anyways, they both hum. When they're happy, they go, and it is the cutest thing. They squint their little eyes, and they all have different pitches. And, like, when I was helping my friend show hers at the fair, we had, like, I think it was, like, 5 of them, all for, and we weren't, like, I was 4-H at the time, so I could help, but, I was just helping in the, like, kind of quote-unquote educational petting zoo part of the fair. It was the big state fair at the time, which sounds weird in these plague times that we were in. But anyways, so there was, like, 5 of them in this little pen, and people would come by, and it was so cute, because I had to learn a bunch about them real fast, so, like, throw facts at people as they came by to learn about these animals. But at night, when everything would calm down, and we'd be giving them a little bit of extra food we weren't supposed to give them, because they were such good girls and stuff, they'd all go, and it was the cutest thing. And the baby hummed at a higher pitch. Oh my goodness. So I have not talked about the build at all. I apologize. I have been clearly very distractible today. And it's funny because this is a smaller build but a longer video, because when I sped it up it got weird. But I do have a playset in the back, a little bit of gardening. She is not a gardener. The single mom is not a gardener. I can't for the life of me remember her name, and I worked so hard picking it out too, and I cannot. The girls' names are Delaney and Destiny, I believe. I can't remember the mom's name now. Is it, like, Christine? That doesn't sound right. Cynthia? That also doesn't. Maybe it's Cynthia. I honestly can't remember. Anyway, so she doesn't have any, like, gardening skills or anything like that, but I figured while her babies were out, playing on their swing set and stuff, she could maybe want to garden a little bit. And I love the back patio, and I did put an easel. She's a single mom, so a little bit of extra money in the household would probably be much appreciated. One of her girls is creative, and one is very outgoing and wants to be, very social. So I figure she's gonna have a lot of activities with the kiddos and stuff, a lot of school projects. This house stayed dark too, which was kind of interesting. I felt like an excess of lights, and I don't know, like, I probably set them or something without thinking about it, but the house just kind of stayed dark, and I don't mind it, because in real life sometimes houses are just dark. Like, there's a hallway in my house that no matter what lights are on, it's just always a little dark. It's just kind of how it is. So it's okay, like, it's not bad, and it's very sort of utilitarian in here in that it is a multi-functional space. It's not just for aesthetics in here. There's a TV above the fireplace, and, bar stools at the kitchen, and a desk in here. Yeah, also I am aware that the fireplace is completely opposite of where the chimney is going to end up. You'll see later on when I decide that one side of the house needs something. We're just gonna pretend that there was a fireplace and now there's not a fireplace there, and that maybe they use it for the oven or something now, but the fireplace in the middle of the house is an electric fireplace because when they were redoing it they needed more space, or they changed up the layout or something, I don't know. Because the chimney was an afterthought and I'd already put the fireplace in and I didn't want to redo the whole layout and everything. So yeah, I really like this house. I really I think I used that skull in the historically minded build, but it's become one of those things where I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I want to use that cow skull. Don't know why. Not super interested in skulls. But, and this, it's so funny, this front courtyard, I didn't actually know what to do with, because, like, yeah, in theory it's a cute idea, and in real life it works really good on that house, my neighbor's house, but like I was like, I don't know what to do with it, because it's just gonna be a sim catcher, to be honest. In real life, the house, my neighbor's house, the little half wall that they have has like a couple little cutouts for like doggy doors. It's really cute. I didn't know how to do that in The Sims because the doggy doors don't look right. Well, they look fine, but they don't look right for this house in this game. But that would be cute to have just little cutouts that your dog could run through. And there's no pet stuff in this house because I've done a lot of pet stuff lately. But let's face it, there's twin girls living here. There will be pets eventually. Like strays are gonna show up or something, or at the very least hamsters or something, although the hamster cages and stuff are huge, which is good. They have lots of space, but they're huge to fit into a house. So yeah, and then just a fairly plain bathroom. Also, if you can hear that obnoxious squeaking, that is not the dog, although he does like to talk when I'm talking to the mic. That is unfortunately still my chair. Oh goodness, lots of fun to be had when we're recording. Everything wants to make noises that never makes noises. So, but here are the screenshots. I am really pleased with this house. I do think it turned out really good. You can see the chimney there and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait for you guys to meet the family in this house. I think they really bring it to life. They're gonna be the thing that really adds the extra touch to this house. But I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I'm excited for some of the builds and stuff coming up, and I hope you are too. And I will talk to y'all very, very soon.